There are some questions in the APGP chapter where it is easier to answer them using the graphic calculator. So in this video, we'll be looking at an example of such a question, and I will go through step by step how to use the TI-84 GC to solve for such questions. So let's get started. So in this example, we'll be looking at a GP or a geometric progression. So in this geometric progression, we have a first term 5 and a common ratio of half. Okay, so what we need to do is to find n such that the sum of the first n terms in the geometric progression exceeds 9.7. Okay, so let's look at what we need to do. So remember, if I have a geometric progression, which I call U. So let me call the R term of the GP UR, okay? And UR is given by, okay, you need to recall the formulas in your APGP chapter A, R to the power of n minus 1, right? So it will be 5 times half to the power of R minus 1. Sorry, here's R. Now, I am interested in the sum of the first n terms such that it exceeds 9.7. So next what I'll need to do is to find the summation of the first n terms of the GP, and recall the summation of the first n terms of a GP will be a 1 minus r to the power of n over 1 minus r. Okay, so let me put in 5. Then 1 minus half to the power of n minus 1, okay, over 1 minus half. And it must be greater than 9.7. So if you're to look at this, I definitely can solve this inequality by simplifying it. Okay, but if I want to save time, I can actually make use of the GC, okay? So what I'll do next is I'll write by GC, okay, and I'll set up the table n and sum of the first n terms, okay? I will let you know what I will need later. So with that, let's move on. Let's get our graphic calculator. Alright, so here I am at this is the GC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Y here, and I'm going to type in the equation. So in this case, it is the sum of the first n term of this GP. So I know that the first term is 5, so A is 5. Then 1 minus half is 0.5 to the power of x, okay, then divided by 1 minus 0.5, okay. Now that I have typed this in, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to table. So to go to table, I will press shift and here, okay, because you see the table is in blue, right? So in order to go to table, I need to press shift and graph, okay, and I'll go to the table. So what I'm looking for is 9.7, right? So I know when when the sum is more than 9.7, okay, so you notice, let's look at this table. So the first sum of the first one term is 5, the sum of the first two terms is 7.5, the sum of the first three terms is 8.75, and so on. So I'm interested in the smallest value of n when the sum of the first n terms exceeds 9.7. So I know that when n is 6, the sum of the first n terms will exceed 9.7. Okay, so what I will do is I know the answer, the required value of n for this question is 6, right? Okay, so to show my working for A levels, what I need to do is I need to copy 5, 6, and 7. So this is the answer. I know the answer is 6. So I'll copy the one before and the one after. So let me show you how to present it. All right. All right. So I've blown up the results that we have from the GC here. Okay, so remember we want the sum of the first n term to be greater than 9.7. So looking at this, I know that the first time where the sum exceeds 9.7 is here. Okay, because 9.8438 is greater than 9.7. So I know that my final answer will be equals to 6. The required n value is equals to 6. So what I'll do is I'll copy 5, 6, and 7 and the sum of the first 5, 6, and 7 terms. So let me show you what I meant. So I will copy 5, 6, and 7 in this table, and I copy the sum of the first n term. So when n is equals to 5, Sn is equals to 9.6875. When n is equals to 6, Sn is equals to 9.8438. And when n is equals to 7, Sn is equals to 9.9219. Okay, so therefore, required n value is equals to 6. So the answer is equals to 6. All right. Okay, so remember this is how you present the answer. Draw out a table, draw out the n, and this here, it could be the sum of the first n terms or whatever condition that the question says. Okay.